Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the Kegel Show. My name is Don Agent, and I'll be your host for this next episode. It is with great pleasure to bring back two of my favorite friends and guests, Chris Chartrand, our CEO of Kegel, and Gus Falgien, our Vice President of Sales. Thanks for coming out,
Thanks,
guys.
Donnie.
Really
Always a
appreciate
pleasure.
it.
Going on, Don?
Always good to see you. Did you see the shirt I've got here?
It's nice.
This is, I can't wear this out in public, but I love the shirt, by the way. Back at you, Sarah. I want to do a shout out to our Turkish distributors for the wonderful new light and lamp we have. We always try to throw some different orange things on the table before doing the shows. Honored you and Geddes. Thanks a bunch.
The Don on your shirt looks life-size through this thing.
It almost, and the wrench almost comes right down to where the wrench is here.
Impressive.
Perfect
You
man.
guys just got, before we get started, you guys just got back from Extravaganza,
We did.
okay?
Yeah.
That's a pretty cool thing. I haven't been. I know you guys bowl, you compete. Y'all were on two different teams.
Right.
So let's get right out of the gate. Can you recap us on who fared better?
You can answer,
I
Gus.
have no comment.
Okay.
Louis, Gus, and Jamario Land were very confident that they were going to take down Sarah French and myself, and it didn't play out that way.
Because
Yeah,
you were
no, we
the
smoked
Mario Brothers
Yes,
theme.
yes,
What were y'all?
them. We were a Grease theme. I was Danny Zuko, and
Ooh,
Sarah
nice.
French was Frenchie. We looked good.
I like it.
Yeah.
Very cool.
Yeah,
Well,
we went well.
welcome back.
But
for
no,
that.
I mean, last year out of I think 120 teams,
Mm-hmm.
we were like bottom 5, Sarah and I. We were like almost dead last.
Wow.
Not very good. So they were understandably confident going into this year. After day one, the cash top
in the
7,
cash
the top
model.
17 cash. We were in 16th after day one. And then we regressed to the mean.
The pressure got to
day 2, we kind of went back to the center of the pack. But it was, easily good enough performance to beat.
You clean their clock,
Jimmy
as
and
they're
Gus.
saying.
They had
All
no
right.
chance.
Shout
Sheer
out
luck.
to Jimmy Land, brother.
Sheer
You
luck.
better start revving it up. Practice.
I just want
next
to say
year.
I'm on the board of the Hall of Fame. I'm the current secretary, and the board does a lot of good work. The hall is very important to the industry, and it's a great event to raise a lot of money for the hall. I think this event raised just under $80,000 for the Hall of Fame. So I mean, I encourage people. Last year was the first year that we went out. We had heard what a fun time it is, and we hadn't been. And the format's incredible. John Lacido and all the people that
do a
kind of,
great
and
job.
Simon Scher, they do a great job running it. It's a lot of fun. So for those that haven't been, I mean, I can't say enough good things about how much fun it is. It's a cool experience. Everybody should go at least one year.
Check it out
and give it a good time. Yeah,
Too
yeah,
cool.
give
Because
it a
it's
go.
not traditional bowling. You got different games and skill set
Odds,
type of things.
even.
And
Yeah. Like, so I'll give you a quick example. One game is odds. The goal is to knock down an odd pin count. Now, you can't strike. Strike's always bad.
Okay.
Most games, almost
Yeah.
all games,
I think
strikes
there's
are
one
bad.
where it matters.
Yeah, but you got to knock down an odd number of pins, so 9 or 7. So you only throw one shot per frame. There's 10 frames, and I managed to get 8 and 6, 9 out of 10 frames when you're playing the odd game. And then the next game is even, so now all those 8s and 6s,
Become odds.
would be great. If you knock down 8, you would get 8 for that frame, and those all of a sudden 9s and 7s, here
You
they
said
come.
it inverted. That was all.
We didn't do very
brother.
good at that game.
Well, I'll
this
tell
year,
you what,
but it's
we've
a lot of fun.
got. It blows me away. I can't believe Bowl Expo. Literally, we're flying out a week from this Saturday. It's right around the corner. We've all talked about how quick this year has went. Wanted to really bring both of y'all on. Start with you, Chris, on kind of giving our audience a heads up on some of the things that actually excite you generally about Bowl Expo as a whole. It can be present, past. It can be, whatever you'd like to talk about with your experiences there.
Yeah, I mean, for me personally, this is Bowl Expo 19. It seems to be this. We set our calendars by it every year.
Expo and Christmas party.
Right.
Pretty much.
There's all this build up to it. Here we go. We usually have a lot of our new product introductions are at Bowl Expo every year. And then there's a big build-up. We get through Bowl Expo, and then we kind of breathe. It seems like a week goes by, and we were having our first Bowl Expo planning meeting for the following year. But over the years, we've seen a lot of changes at Bowl Expo. The overall size of the show has gotten a little bit smaller over the years. The mix of the kind of vendors has certainly changed in recent years. you've seen a lot more entertainment vendors kind of focused on redemption and laser tag and some of those things. But what I'm most interested in this year is last year. It was in Nashville, and normally the years that we go away from Vegas, the show numbers tend to be a little bit softer. But last year, the show was incredible.
Everybody was
busy,
hammered. There was a ton of
all
people.
through day one, all through day two. But even not just a busy show, and just having a lot of conversations with industry leaders and manufacturers and distributors. It was that was year 18. Without question, I left that show the most encouraged about the industry since I've been working in it, and that was an incredible feeling to have. And I'm curious, everyone I talk to now, their business is in a better place now than it was a year ago.
Yes.
So, and we're going back to Vegas,
which is always a good.
Historically, the first year back numbers are
so
great.
So I'm like I can't remember a Bowl Expo that I've had more anticipation going into.
Right.
Building off of what a great show it was last year, and with a lot of the positive momentum that the industry seems to have right now. So that's what I'm most excited. It's more of a broader industry kind of thing. I always enjoy seeing some people that this might be the only time of the year.
The
we get
once
to
a
see
year
some
that
folks.
we get to, because everybody's traveling, we only get to sit down and see those people. Yeah.
So I look forward to a lot of those conversations where checking in with everybody and really see how everybody's business is doing and kind of what the trends are. And so I'm expecting the results to be really encouraging. I'm expecting to hear a lot of good news from people.
I agree with you. To finish off on that, I mean, we all talked about it, and I felt the same way when I walked out of Nashville last year. I was like, wow, what a show, considering we were not in Las Vegas. I'm going to turn over to you, Gus. Vice President of Sales, obviously. You've got your hands in a mix of a lot of things, whether it's products or tournaments on a global level or product development. Mm-hmm. What kind of has got you a little bit excited this year that you can tell the audience might want to make them go, wow, we really got to run to that Kegel booth and check this out this year?
Well, I mean, the excitement around some of the new products, whether it's coaching tools, updates to the current product line are exciting. Continually trying to make products better, innovate, change things. Bowl Expo historically is where you kind of unleash all your new stuff. So anytime you can have something new and people come in the booth and go, wow, that's cool. I didn't think you could improve on that. And we do always, certainly makes us feel good, and we get to see customers typically once a year. And it's hard sometimes because they'll come by and you're talking to someone and then they'll all come back.
They're waiting in
and
line.
You never get to see them again. So we're going to have some great specials on a lot of different products, which later in the show you'll have some guests that are going to go in and kind of explain some of the new products and certain things. So we're excited about that. More travel, that's always
Which
good.
you always love. You're only out 300 days a year now.
Not quite,
anyway,
but that's good. But really, on an excitement level, I mean, KPP has really demonstrated through the last couple of years some unbelievable innovation and some new products that really have separated, our parts from other parts and that. But I think this year, especially with what you have coming, the innovation, the excitement behind this is very cool. My shirt will kind of lead into what Donnie has to let you guys all know.
So you're going to drag me in this bus. I love the shirt because, one of the most exciting things that our team, and obviously we use resources throughout the whole company for these things, but has been a new line of products that we're releasing called Deep Purple Urethane. And for many years, before we started this product line, I just never felt like there was a good urethane vendor or product that was in existence today versus 15, 20 years ago. And I'm ecstatic. We ran into just a wonderful manufacturer. They manufacture for Boeing aircraft, and so their quality control levels are through the roof. So yeah, we're going to be unleashing a line of about 15 to 20 parts. We hope for y'all that are coming out to Expo, obviously stop by the booth to see everything, but I think that's really going to draw your attention. And we did offset it with the deep purple color, and yeah, I think this is going to be a wonderful year on our end as well. And gentlemen, I can't thank you enough for coming out. As you mentioned, we've got some additional guests coming on.
Yep.
So Derrin Davis is going to be up with us next. And
Always.
thanks a bunch.
Thanks, Donnie.
We'll see you all
Keep
soon.
up the good work, Don. I like
you
the
much.
show.
Darin, welcome back, kiddo. It's always
Thanks, Don.
a pleasure to spend some time with you. And you know, you're going to be at Expo this year. Give the general public a little background information. I mean, you've been with Kegel for 14 years. You know, both your uncles, your father, and Linda Davis were very instrumental in the development of this company. So you've really been around it since you were a small child.
Yeah, I literally grew up
in it.
in the company.
And now you've done a lot of different roles in this company. I mean, you've built lane machines, you've worked in the chemical department at times, but now really, I mean, you're heading up all of technical support, which is one of the reasons you're also going to be out at Expo. You know, in your portion of the booth that you're going to be manning with your team, you know, obviously we have different lane machines out there. What are some of the new things for the 2019 models that are coming out that off the top of your head you'd kind of like to share with the audience?
Well, the major change we did with our 2019 machine will be our new 7-inch touchscreen and our interface
Okay.
of the 2019 machine. Of course, it's be the same style touchscreen, but 7 inches.
So a lot larger viewing capacity.
And the interface has changed a little bit. We kind of dressed it up, made it look pretty. Be pretty cool. And of course, there's a couple other small features we added to the machine that we'll get to release at Bowl Expo.
And we've got now also, even like this year, even with the icons, I mean, aren't they coming out with the Bluetooth capability built in there as well for the wireless?
Wi-Fi.
Or the Wi-Fi.
Wi-Fi. It's also on the Flex also.
Because that's a new thing now that we've come out with.
We started that in 2018 with the Wi-Fi.
But with the Kegel app and all these things that you're going to kind of get to show them going in there. So definitely, you guys get a chance, come out here. Mechanics and proprietors all across the board. Whether you're looking at purchasing a piece of equipment or just want to talk to one of us about, you know, your current condition of your equipment or getting some technical assistance, show up at the booth and we'll be more than happy to talk with you. Darin, great to see you, buddy.
Thank you, Don.
Brent, thank you so much for making time to get out here. I know you've
Thanks
got
for
some
having me.
things going downstairs, and with the train center, y'all are always busy down there. You know, as we've been talking about with Expo coming up, we've got different segments of how our booth is set up. And you've actually changed roles to some degree. You're now basically the director of coaching tools, and you were the train center coordinator, which I know you still do some stuff with that. But you've been working, your team's been working the last 8 months essentially on some pretty neat items, you know, that really are all about the coaching realm and getting better as a bowler. Can you kind of tell our audience what you know, they might expect or look forward to seeing and when they come out to see you guys at the booth?
Yeah, we've got 3 people that'll be there. It'll be myself, Alex Kirkhoff, and then Del Warren. And then we've got 3 new products to show as well. So we've got our newest tool, which is a 3D reference tool. It's called the Arrow. We kind of developed it in the training center with the coaches to make it easier for us to help people understand what we're trying to get them to do. So you can set it at different angles, you set it on different spots on the approach, and it makes it easier for customers and people that you're trying to work with to visualize what you want them to work on. So you can tell them to work on something, set this tool up, and then let them go practice on that while you're working with another player. So it just makes it easier for them to do. So we'll have that there. We'll have the Torch X, which is the update to the Torch. A lot of people have already purchased torches. It's been a really good product for us.
Yeah, we had a great year last year, and I'll tell you, I heard great feedback from everybody that bought them.
Yeah, and using it over the course of the year, we got a lot of feedback from people of things that we could do to make it even more effective.
Sure.
So one of the things that we've done is we've added a tilt bar. The feedback that we got from some higher level players was that sometimes the light reflection didn't match up with where they were actually rolling the ball. And what we ended up kind of finding was people that were left eye dominant and people that created a little bit more body tilt, that were in a little bit more specific position. Yeah, the reflection didn't always match up perfectly.
Sure.
So now you can tilt it a little bit, and you can help that line match up really with where they're throwing it at a little bit better. So it's a little bit more effective from that. It's going to be a color now, so you can change the color red, blue, green, or white.
I saw that. That was beautiful
Yep.
because we did have some requests on that last year of, hey, love the white light, but what if,
Yeah.
you know.
Yeah, so now you got the different colors. The biggest thing that I think is most important is we've got a switch on the bottom of it now. So when the ball goes underneath it, it'll change color. So like if I have it set on blue and I tell it that I want it to light green when I go underneath it, if the ball goes underneath it, it changes green. So I get immediate feedback whether I actually hit where I was
Yeah,
aiming
because
or
we're
not.
setting that down at the break point anyway.
Yeah.
So, I mean, that's instant. If they hit their break point where they should, that switch is going to trip that
Yep.
light.
Yeah, and
That's
it's going to be
beautiful.
adjustable, so you can make it to where it's like a one board range, or you can make it a couple board range. So you can set it different for different levels of players. So that'll make it easier. So the tool that we've already been using quite a bit, and we've been testing it in the training center the last couple of weeks. We've got a lot of good feedback. So
I think it's like
people will
anything,
really like
you
that.
know, when anybody, us or anyone else, you make something that's cutting edge, and then all of a sudden you find that, hey, there's different things that people might want to have incorporated in this. So.
Yep, yeah, so we worked hard on getting that one done. But the most exciting thing that we've really got coming up is the new version of Specto. Specto's been a really great product for us. It's gone from nothing basically a year and a half to now we've got a full-fledged product. It's in almost 80 bowling centers.
Yes.
I think actually the 80th bowling center gets installed this week, which is exciting. But we've got version 3.0 that's coming out. So we're going to be demoing that. What's really important about 3.0 is it makes it much easier for a bowler to use it by themselves. I mean, the main thing, one of the things that's really unique about that product is players can use their phone to practice with it. The different versions that we're adding will make it even easier for that process. So like one of the sections that we're adding is called Specto Worlds. And what you can do is you start the world, and it's kind of like a game almost. You start the world on a level, you set your difficulty level, and for example, the very basic level, you basically just have to keep the ball in the lane, and you progress through these levels. So it makes it a little bit easier for practice. I know for me, like the gym, for example, I know it's important, I hate going, so I think this will be the same type of thing for practice for people. They know that they should be practicing, but it kind of gets boring to just go out there and throw shots. So at least this way it kind of guides them through, and it'll feel a little less like a monotonous practice.
Well, it shows them progress, and I think all.
And then they're going to be developing skills indirectly, not knowing they're working on skills, but it doesn't feel like, okay, I'm trying to do this over and over and over again. It forces them to kind of progress through stuff. And then when they get stuck, it'll make it to where they have practices that they can go practice and work on a specific skill to try to really improve that area. So I think it's going to make it much easier for customers to use and eventually get more people using it more often.
This is awesome because, I mean, obviously, you know, a lot of people think about Kegel, where lane machines were chemicals, but the core of the business was the sport of bowling and trying to educate people and preserve that competitiveness and grow that next generation of competitive bowlers. Brent, I can't thank you enough for coming out, buddy. It's been a pleasure as always. If you get a chance, come out. Bowler, mechanic, proprietor, pro shop, anybody in the group, definitely get by their side of the booth. And
Yeah, you definitely want to
check out
stop
some
by
of
the
these
booth
new
because
tools.
we're also going to be giving an arrow away. So somebody's going to get lucky and gets to take an arrow home. So definitely
Giveaways.
stop by, and I think they're giving some other stuff away, but I don't care about that. The arrow, that's what you want. So come out and check us out.
Ladies and gentlemen, Brandy Padilla, always great to have you back on the show.
Good to
Brandy.
see you, Don. Thanks for having me.
You know, you always look forward to Expo. I mean, you're an integral component of this company. I mean, you're a chemical engineer. You've been behind the scenes on a lot of stuff that thousands and tens of thousands of people are using on a daily basis. So it's always good to have you out there. You know, you're going to be out here. What's kind of going to be your role in the booth this year?
Well, this year, Dennis Shears and I are going to man the chemical side of the booth. And we'll be there to really just answer any questions about chemicals in general. Maybe if you need help picking a new conditioner to use, if you're having some issues or anything like that. We'll be there to answer those sorts of questions. We'll have Doug Dukes with us, who will be able to answer any pattern-related questions. So if people are struggling with getting their pattern just right, or maybe having some issues, maybe we can get them pointed in the right direction. So really this year, because unfortunately we're not releasing anything new, we're really there to just kind of help our customers find their way to success.
Support the existing products.
Exactly.
And you guys are doing
Exactly.
the trifecta because you got, you know, you coupled with Dennis, who's a chemist, and I know those are two
Right.
different, you know, educational sides. And then obviously Doug Dukes, I mean, he does tournaments globally, PWBA, and
Yes.
so that should be a wonderful group to have out
Yeah,
there.
I'm really excited to be working with both of them. We've had some issues in the field with current, and we've been trying to address those. And Doug's been a big part of that as well. He's been a big part of testing the sister conditioner, which we've been testing for a while. And I've had several people call and ask me about that already. So we'll be there to discuss those. So while we've delayed the release of that one just a little bit, we'll be able to talk about it, and he's going to be there to help and answer questions as well. So I'm really looking forward to working with them.
Excellent, excellent. Ladies and gentlemen, that's going to be in booth number 619 at Bowl Expo. Before I close out, once in a while I like to throw a plug up. If you haven't gotten Lenny Nicholson's book, PBA Hall of Famers, this is a fantastic read. Some of the greatest stories you'll ever see. And if you get a chance, if they got it in the local pro shop, pick one up. If not, get online and definitely order that. Brandy, I can't thank you enough for coming out. It's always
Thanks
a
for
pleasure,
having me.
Seeing you. And for those of you all that may not be, very chemically aware of certain things, between her and Dennis and Doug, they're going to be able to answer all your questions. So please make it a point to get out. We look forward to seeing all of you all out there here. Coming up a week from this Saturday, we'll be flying out.
I can't believe it's time already.
I can't either. We're just in Nashville, kiddo.
It's crazy.
Back to work.
See ya.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, that's a wrap. Keep those wrenches turning. Have a wonderful day.